Hey everyone, it's Troy from Road Bike Action here, and we have the Sram Explorer drivetrain and component line. So Sram has pretty much released a 1x specific drivetrain that includes dropper posts, suspension fork, and new Zipp Explorer wheels, and those are all mounted on our brand new redesigned Sage Storm King GP, which is specifically designed for a suspension gravel fork. Sram has been on the leading edge of the 1x drivetrains, and with the launch of the Explorer, spelled XPLR line, they continue the trend. Many might not know that Sram is also the parent company of Zipp, Rockshox, Cork, and many more. And the Explorer line extends into these brands as a way to indicate that the products are targeting the gravel scene. In short, the new offerings are 1x specific drivetrains from Sram across all their axis tiers, Red, Force, and Apex. Rockshox has launched 2 suspension forks, the Rudy Ultimate and then the regular Rudy, both having a 30 or 40 millimeter option. Rockshox has also released the Reverb Axis Wireless 27.2 dropper post with 75 or 50 millimeter option. Last, Zipp has brought their Moto wheel tech from the mountain bikes to the gravel bike with the Zipp 101 Explorer. Sram has also implemented the Explorer marketing on existing products like their G40 tires and their service course flared handlebars. So what's the big addition, you might be thinking? Didn't Sram already launch their gravel oriented line called Wide or something like that? Well, Wide was targeting gravel in a 2x form, but it's also targeting road riders that just needed a little more range. The new Explorer expands on that by adding a 1044 tooth cassette option. This is paired with the 1x specific rear derailleurs that are only compatible with the new 1044 range or the 1036 range that already exists. That's it. It's not compatible with the more popular 1050 or 1052 Eagle cassettes that were brought over from the mountain bike. Likewise, the Eagle derailleur won't accommodate the new 1044. Currently, Sram offers 2 levels of the new 1044 cassette, the 1251 and the 1271 version, with about a $60 difference between the two. This makes things a little confusing since they are all 12-speed axis, Sram's wireless standard that spans road to mountain. To add to the complexity is the fact that there are 3 tiers, Red, Force, and Rival, with the build materials being the biggest difference, which also affects the price. Along those same lines, there are 4 crank options. Red and Force are offered in the regular road width, while Force also has the wide option, and Rival only comes in the wide option. The wide leaves more room for tires and moves the chain line about 2.5 millimeters out. This is not new, but it would be noted that Red doesn't come in the wide option for those looking for a little bit more space for bigger tires. Chain rings are offered from 36, 38, 40 like our test bike, and 42, 44, and 46. The biggest news is that Rockshox has jumped into the gravel suspension arena. Gravel suspension isn't for everyone, but honestly the Rudy has been really solid during normal gravel riding with a very progressive feel. The top stroke is supple for small bumps and road imperfections, but after only a few millimeters of travel, it gets pretty supportive. Even during some of our most epic underbiking, we rarely bottomed out. One big turn-off for us on the Rudy Ultimate, which has the lockout lever, the lever's loose. I mean, it's annoyingly loose. So loose that, check this out. We likely won't use the lockout, and a bit of tape will remedy it for now, but it'll likely just break off in a few more rides. To match the Get Rowdy suspension is the long-awaited Reverb dropper post. We have the 75mm version, and since we also have the 1x Drivetrain, we actuate both shifter buttons simultaneously to control the travel, same as you would when you're shifting the front derailleur on a 2x-axis bike. Like all droppers, there's a bit of wiggle in the saddle, but we didn't notice it while riding. What we did notice is that it made an awesome partner for the Rudy when underbiking. On the wheel side of things, Zipp has taken the single wall rim construction to the limit. Just as they did with the moto wheels on the mountain bike side of things, the 101 Explorer rims are designed to pivot and twist. The theory is this sort of compliance further enhances traction and comfort. While a single-walled carbon rim seems light and simple, the 101s is very complex, and speaking to a few wheel builders and Sram themselves, they also felt that the build is fairly complex. In our opinion, the wheels are a bit heavy at over 1600 grams, but they do have a super wide internal width of 27mm, and of course are hookless and tubeless. The hub engagement is pretty good, but nothing to write home about. We'd like to state that on our Sage Storm King GP, there's plenty of room for tires. I mean, the thing fits 50mm tires, and we're only running 40s, but on multiple occasions there was enough flex in the wheels to hit the chainstay. Speaking of the Sage and the Storm King, Dave at Sage has done a great job designing a suspension specific version that he is calling the GP. GP doesn't stand for Grand Prix like it does everywhere else, but instead Grifford Pincourt or something like that. I guess it's a national forest in his area that he says is the perfect stomping grounds for this bike. Just like the regular Storm King, the GP is durable, confidence inspiring, and a solid platform to test, well, anything on. The bike overall is a tad tall in the head tube, and for us, the added length of the suspension on normal riding just had us a bit too high. But with that said, if you're underbiking often or doing long days of exploring, the added height is a rejoice. After a few weeks of us riding paved roads, dirt roads, unmaintained roads, and trail bike worthy single track, the Storm King GP didn't flinch. So to wrap it up, Sram's made their drivetrain selection, well, honestly more convoluted, but we do really like the new range. Enough gears for the steep climbs with less gear gap than you get on Eagle. The addition of the Rudy suspension fork and Reverb 27.2 dropper post are novel and work extremely well, but will definitely be overkill for most. The Zipp 101 Explorer wheels have solid theory and engineering, but for us, we just need more time on them before we can say it's worth it. They aren't lightweight, but the internal width did help boost the size of the rubber we chose, so I guess that in a way brings the weight down. Overall, the Explorer line is good with a little bit of something for everyone, and the mix and match nature of Axis makes it easier to stay on budget, but wow, Sram Red, that'll definitely hurt the bank account. And our Sage rig put a huge dent at over $12,000. The Force and Rival options are likely the way to go for most. Thanks for watching, and if you don't already, make sure you subscribe. Give the video a thumbs up. You can check out more info on the Sage Storm King GP and the Sram Explorer line at roadbikeaction.com. And also, you know, we do the social stuff, so follow us on Instagram and all the others.